Ever tried? Ever failed? No matter. Try again. Fail again. Fail better.
Have you ever felt like a failure was the end of the road? What if I told you it's just the beginning? Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's a part of it. Today, let's talk about how to embrace failure as your greatest teacher. First, let's get one thing straight. Failure happens to everyone. I'm talking about the people you admire, the ones who seem to have it all figured out. They've failed, multiple times in fact. We've all been there. A project didn't work out, a goal wasn't achieved, or something you poured your heart into fell apart. But here's the truth, everyone fails. Every successful person you admire has failed, multiple times. Take Thomas Edison as example. When asked about the thousands of failed attempts to create the light bulb, he said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That mindset changed history. Failure doesn't mean you're not good enough. It means you're trying, and that's a step ahead of most people. Failure builds relationships. Surprisingly, failure can also strengthen your connections with others. When you share your setbacks honestly, you become relatable and inspire empathy. It's a reminder to yourself and others that perfection isn't real, and vulnerability is powerful. The connection between failure and perseverance. Studies show that perseverance, not talent, is the key predictor of success. And failure is what builds perseverance. It forces you to develop grit and a never-give-up attitude. For an example, Serena Williams didn't win every match she played, but her perseverance in the face of setbacks made her one of the greatest athletes of all time. Think of perseverance like a muscle. Failure is the resistance that strengthens it over time. The role of failure in building leadership. Great leaders are shaped by failure. They learn how to handle setbacks, support others through challenges, and make better decisions. Failure gives leaders the wisdom to guide others effectively. Like the 16th U.S. President Abraham Lincoln faced numerous failures in business, law, and politics before becoming the President of U.S. Failure, believe it or not, opens doors to new opportunities. When something doesn't go as planned, you get a chance to reevaluate your approach. Sometimes that failure forces you to think outside the box or take a path you wouldn't have considered otherwise. You start seeing things from a different perspective. Let's think of it this way. Imagine a sculptor working with clay. If the clay is too soft or too hard, the artist has to adjust, reshape, rework, and refine their creation. Failure allows you to refine your skills, ideas, and strategies until you achieve something even better than you initially imagined. Tell this to yourself. Every time you fail, you're building resilience, wisdom, and strength. How to normalize failure in your life? Share your failures with friends, colleagues, or online communities. It helps to remind yourself and others that failure is universal. Reward effort, not outcome. Start celebrating the fact that you tried, even if you didn't succeed. Effort is what leads to growth. Learn from others. Read biographies of people you admire. You'll often find that their failures were just as crucial as their success. All right, let's talk about what to do when failure happens. Because let's be real, it will happen. But here's how you can turn it around. Accept the failure. The first thing, face it. Don't deny it, don't sugarcoat it, just accept it. Failure is an event, not a person. It doesn't define who you are. Analyze what went wrong. Once you've accepted it, dig into it. Ask yourself, what could I have done differently? This isn't about beating yourself up. It's about learning. Failure is like a feedback loop. It's giving you valuable data for your next move. Shift your perspective. Stop seeing failure as the end. Instead of thinking, I failed, so I'm done, try this. I failed, so I'm growing. Every time you fail, you're one step closer to success. Take action and move forward. Here's the big one. Don't just sit with the lesson, use it. Apply what you've learned and move forward. Dwelling on the past doesn't build the future, you do. One of my favorite quotes is from Winston Churchill. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. That courage, you have it. I promise you, it's in there. Now, I want you to think about a time when you failed. What did it teach you? Seriously, take a moment and reflect on it. And if you're comfortable, share it in the comments. I'd love to hear your story, and who knows, you might inspire someone else. Remember this, failure is the price of progress. It's not the end, it's just a chapter.